Hello, fellow humans. I am Amnis Lupus, and today I'd like to briefly cover rate of fire and damage per second in Nosgoth. Fire rate indicates the maximum rounds per second a weapon can unload. So a weapon with a fire rate of 2 will effectively fire 2 rounds per second. The higher number associated with fire rate, the more rounds can be fired per second. There is an exception to this rule, which I will cover as I review the weapons. I'll be using the Hunter for example, as their weapons have more varied rates of fire. The Hunter has 4 different repeating crossbows, 2 of them sharing the same rate of fire. First up, we have the original Hunter weapon, the Repeater, which has a fire rate of 4.3. This means that it will fire approximately 4.3 rounds per second. The Repeater deals 75 damage per round at 4.3 rounds a second, giving it a potential of 322 damage per second when fired automatically. Next, we have the Bolt Thrower, which trades some damage and reload speed in favor of a larger magazine, though its fire rate is identical to the Repeater at 4.3. It deals 70 damage per round at 4.3 rounds per second, giving it a 301 damage per second potential when fired automatically. The Siege Bow trades rate of fire and clip size for increased damage per round. With a rate of fire of 3.5, it fires about 20% slower than the Repeater, but does an additional 20 damage per round. The Siege Bow deals 95 damage per round at 3.5 rounds per second, giving it 332 damage per second on full auto. Lastly, we have the Multi-Bow, which differs from the previous 3 weapons in that it fires in 3-round bursts. The fire rate on the weapon is 1.9 per round with 3 rounds per burst, which means that it should effectively fire 5.7 times a second. The Multi-Bow deals 70 damage per round at 5.7 rounds per second, giving it a potential 399 damage per second if the magazine is emptied with perfectly consecutive shots. Here's a clip of me using the Bolt Thrower to, I would say, its greatest strength, which is simply not having to reload as often. Its fire rate's decent enough that with 20 rounds in my clip as I do now, I can pretty much hold my own against any vampire that tries to sneak up on me. Trying to get rounds down on this guy, lose a teammate in the process, but I still have enough rounds in my clip to put some serious damage on this guy while he's trying to eat my buddy. And now the unfortunate part, which is having to reload, which you can do while dodging, as I just showcased right there. Still have enough rounds to take this guy out without much of an issue. Okay, here's a clip of me showcasing the strength of the Siege Bow, and that's raw damage. Accuracy is extremely important on all weapons, but more so with limited magazine weapons like the Siege Bow. And accuracy is extremely hard to pull off when there is a tyrant dancing in front of your shots with Ignore Pain active. Fortunately for me, this guy had just enough health for me to whack him right in the chin. And then these 2 bumbling oafs take about 95 damage per shot and just absolutely melt. I see that that health station has already been used. Spoiler alert, I don't make it to the next one. In this clip I'm using the Multi-Bow, which has the highest DPS of the 4 Hunter weapons. As you'll see in this first kill, with good accuracy, you'll melt your enemy's HP bars. Unfortunately, a single missed shot can mean losing 3 rounds out of your entire magazine, which is extremely detrimental to the Multi-Bow because it only has 7 trigger pulls before you have to reload. I didn't record any games using the Repeater due to it having the same fire rate as the Bolt Thrower, which I feel is a superior weapon despite its damage and reload speed drawbacks. Hopefully you guys found this video informative. In either case, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in game.